Okay, we're live and on air. This is Two Guys, session number one. And, uh, so far I'm by myself. I invited my friend to join us. And this is a test case, so to speak. We do enjoy having a little banter, a little chatting going on back and forth. And in the absence of coordinating these things ahead of time, we'll just go ahead and get started. So I'm hoping at any point my colleague in crime here will give us a dial in, a shout out, and get started. And this is Google Plus. This is a Hangout, and it's being recorded on YouTube. And we'll see how it goes. I think I have to get a minimum of 15 minutes to have it stored on YouTube. I guess they don't want people just coming on here and making a 5-minute recording and then dumping it. I'm not sure what the concept is, but there's quite a few interesting things happening in the realms of the internet, social media. To some extent, I guess this is social media, but to me, I would say this is a tool, a great tool to actually do like a radio broadcast. Obviously, those who are in radio, they've developed a career, whether it's talk radio. I happen to be in Phoenix, Arizona, and you have your AM radio stations and different time slots and personalities, and they got their commercials, and then you gotta talk about the latest news in the local area, like get all excited about what's happening in your little town, and like it fills the void as you're commuting, let's say, to work, and it's easy and allows you to just kind of put your brain into neutral and listen along to some people gabbing and chatting about whatever's going on around them. Usually a lot of the guys are political or, whatever their bent is. But with Google Plus and YouTube, I mean, we can be our own people, create our own broadcast, develop our own following. There's no commercials. I don't have to try to shock you, or we don't have to try to shock you into some topic and just go crazy on it. But the world's quite different, and in fact, I invited to this Google Plus my German teacher from Berlin, of all places, Ingrid, and we'll see if she figures out her computer. Hey, it looks like Tommy Thompson's joined us. I don't know if... Oh, dang. I just recorded his name. I think you can probably find my name too, Michael Ward. But I see Tommy. Am I muted? Did I mute you or something? I turned my camera off, bud.
I was reading the disclaimer.
Oh, the disclaimer. Was there a disclaimer? There
Yeah.
you go. Yeah, keep the camera off. We don't want people to see us here.
No, well, more than what they're seeing already. So.
Yeah, I was doing a nice monologue there for a while.
Oh, well, sorry it was a late entry on my part.
Well,
you should give me some forewarning.
This is session one, man.
Yeah, well, you never know what I might be in the middle of when you do that. And this may come as a surprise to you, but some things take priority.
What's that?
I said this may come as a surprise to you, but some things take priority.
Well, yeah, of course. Well,
yeah.
I'm sure the real smart people out in the world can figure out what time this is being recorded. But
well, I don't know. What is it recording based on the moderator's time zone or on universal coordinated time?
Well, I identified ourselves as two guys, one in South Carolina, one in Arizona.
Did
But
Doctor is that a did we steal that from Doctor Seuss? You know, he did that thing one, thing two.
I
You
don't
know,
know.
are we going to base that going from east to west on time zones or age or height or?
I don't know. But it is 6:48 in the morning here.
It is. Well, it's nine. Mine says 9:47. I think you're a little fast because I have radio controlled clocks in my house, so they're pretty accurate.
Well, I'm just reading off my computer, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
mine are. Yeah, let's see what my computer says. My computer says 9:48 as well. I think that's a problem with the service provider. Uh,
We,
of
we
course,
may have to we may have to rethink these photos because I think I don't know what you're saying, but basically when I'm talking, my face comes up with trees and a palm tree in the background, and when you
yeah,
talk,
and it looks like it looks like a blue-footed booby laid an egg in your head. Is what it.
oh,
Are you
what?
a blue-footed booby? Are you not familiar? That's some kind of that's a bird. I don't know if that's in Africa, somewhere outside the North American continent. It's called a blue-footed booby.
A blue-footed booby. So
And it has, I mean, it has unquestionable blue feet. You know,
I,
they're
I
not
don't
they're not
see
navy
blue
they're not
here.
navy blue. They're kind of Carolina, Carolina blue
Well,
feet.
I don't see any blue in there, but I got the poof going there.
Well, that's what I was getting to. Like something's nesting up there on that. Yeah, I don't know what we could do. I guess you could put a Green Bay Packer emblem up there.
Oh no, no! Careful now, Tommy. I'm going to start alienating 95% of the audience there.
Oh well, yeah, the folks who are, there won't be any Chicago fans listening on this anyway.
Well,
So,
no, I don't know how the disclaimer comes out, but I identified myself as coming from Chicago, right?
yeah, well, see, mine just came up and said that it just said, this can be published later for, you know, for general consumption, and don't do or say anything you don't want out there, and don't don't publish anything that's proprietary or copyrighted or whatever.
Right. Well, everything we're saying is now becoming copyrighted. So,
Oh, well, just de facto. Huh?
right. I mean, that's the whole point. This is the original with the original content here. This is no one can copy us anymore. I mean,
That's true. It is. If it's nothing, it's original.
and certainly this content is highly valuable, and people are going to want to steal this.
It was no. Well, I'm for sure you want to take it over to Mom's house and play it for her because she's proud of she's proud of her boy Michael.
No, I don't know this. Yeah, this is going to be an acquired taste for listeners to enjoy.
Yeah. Well, I
But
don't know. I'm
what I
just
did
wondering.
yesterday.
You still there? Oh well. Yeah. So where'd you go?
I well, we're back, right?
Yeah, we are now. I don't know what happened.
And this is a good test too. I mean, right out of the first broadcast, I got network connectivity problems.
Oh, well, that's on your end.
Dang, it's on my end. Well, the broadcast didn't get stopped. I was in the middle of talking about the YouTube channel. Did you catch any of that?
Said it all. Catch any of that?
All right. Well, maybe I was talking too much.
Well, never let it be said. Never let it be said that the great Swami of South Mountain talks too much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, probably the broadcast connectivity dies out if you send so much bandwidth through my computer.
Well, I'm thinking, well, and it may have something to do with the quality of the bandwidth. It just the pipe can't handle it.
Yeah, but remember yesterday we did the check, and it was like I was getting good MIPS.
Yeah, yeah, and certainly, not broadcasting the video um, cuts down on the bandwidth usage.
Oh, that's right. It should, right?
Oh, most definitely.
And I prefer this because I don't like the camera part because then you end up looking at yourself and seeing what the background is and all that.
All right, all right.
But what I was going to say though on the channel, YouTube channel. So we've got a YouTube channel now, or at least I do. I don't know. It's
I
probably
th yeah, I think you own it since you set it up.
yeah, I probably own it. So that's what this is. This is two guys session number one. Do you see that down the lower right corner?
No, I don't see anything related to YouTube. I mean, do I need to click on the YouTube icon to see what happens? Opening YouTube, downloading app. Welcome to YouTube Hangouts. Yeah, I don't think that's what I need.
Well, I'm just saying. Like, do you have a window on your screen?
All I have in the bottom, it just shows you and me.
Okay. Well, I have a little ribbon at the bottom of that window, I think it's called,
Uh,
where I can stop the broadcast, and it says
yeah,
two guys, session number one. We have zero.
yes. Well, that's because you are the moderator.
Yeah. And
So,
so we have zero viewers, by the way.
well, there's a shock. I want my money back. They're going to apply for a refund. Well, we did all kinds of upfront marketing and getting the word out. We we spent countless hours advertising that this was coming today, and damn it, it's just not a. Who's the marketing guy? Was that you or me?
Probably me.
Oh, you're fired.
Well, we wear all the hats here.
Yes, we do.
Mine happens to look like a palm tree right now.
Well, I think I'm standing in front of a bush that's called a fragrant viburnum.
What was that? Fragrant what?
Fragrant viburnum, and actually it's blooming right now, and it blooms for about 10 days, and it's just real pungent, very pleasantly aromatic flowering shrub.
What color are there
Oh,
flowers?
they're white. In fact, when we're done with this, I'll go out and make a cutting, and we can get back on later, and I can actually show it to you. The only thing now we need is smell-o-vision.
Well, let's
Yeah.
stay with good content, which is our
Oh yeah, absolutely.
the what we can control more, which is the banter and all that.
That is correct.
We it's interesting because we have plants here that are yellowing. They flower about this time,
Yep.
and they peak about just about now. I used to kind of drive around and see that it was about April 8th was like peak time. Is that the same with your flower?
Well, I mean, it's just this, time of year. Usually the first couple of weeks of spring, and which is where we are. That's why, speaking of spring and flowering, that's why the Masters golf tournament is coming up this week, starting on Wednesday.
Ah, okay.
With the par three tournament, and then Thursday through Sunday are the actual tournament. But that's that area of Georgia. Uh, The azaleas are blooming now, and lots of stuff, lots of spring flowers are blooming, and that really adds to the scenery down there. They don't have to bring anything in; it all nature kind of takes care of that, and that's where we are this time of year. I mean, I'm looking out my front window now, and there are lots of purples and yellows and whites, uh, just within 50 yards of my front door.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, we have a shrub called a forsythia that blooms this kind of time of year, with
Oh man,
bright, yeah, just real tight yellow blooms. And
you're full of horticultural knowledge there.
well,
I'm not going to be able to keep up with
let's don't plan a whole show on that.
that. We already have.
It's
My,
like,
my initial monologue I started with was going on about how there was talk radio, right?
uh,
So this to me is talk radio without the commercials, without, like we said earlier, no marketing, of course. But
right.
we talk radio has got a captured audience. People driving in their cars, AM radio. There's a channel. You could probably get really philosophical with your IT background, but it's a real fascinating time in the world right now. With basically, we're broadcasting a talk radio program, and we're not, as we were just joking, we're not going to go horticultural on you.
Right. No, but it's it is amazing, and I said this. I started out my career in what was called at the time data processing, uh, writing COBOL programs on punch cards,
Okay.
and in a very short period of time, in less than a quarter of a century, well, a little longer than a quarter of a century, we're doing virtual collaboration literally around the globe. And
Right.
I don't know that anyone's done a study. I'm sure someone probably has done a study, but how much money companies saved over the years keep avoiding expenditures for travel strictly by having virtual sessions. I mean, you and I participated in those regularly, where you'd have people literally around the world, sharing documents and presentations, and it's a one-touch access. And I think that led to a lot of virtual office, people being able to work from home because they're reachable. They're reachable 24/7, and I'm not suggesting that is always a good thing, but it does provide a little flexibility, in particular, I think, in a professional environment where you don't have to be tethered to an office. They just need you to be reachable, in a timely fashion, and it's allowed that. But it's been truly an information explosion, and I would say really it's been more a data explosion, because a lot of it is just raw data without information. But you have to have a little bit of critical thinking skill to be able to make your way through the weeds. But
Well, that's where I see we're switching a little bit. If we go back to your original comment about data processing, when you started out, I would imagine a lot of that had to do with financials.
Well, yeah, it did, and a lot of it had to do the biggest prohibitive factor was cost of storing just raw data. Disk drives, when hard disk drives came on the market back in the late 70s, early 80s, they were horrifically expensive. I tell people, as an anecdotal example, like many companies, we acquired the original IBM PCs with a floppy disk drive, and when we got a PC with 2 floppy disk drives, we were really in high cotton there, as they say in this part of the country. And
what was that? What was that phrase?
We were in high cotton.
High cotton. What is that?
Well, it just means if you're in high cotton, cotton's gotten high, and there's a lot of it. There's money to be made because there's a lot of cotton to be harvested, and they say you're in high cotton.
So is high cotton when the price of cotton goes high?
No, it's got to do with that. It's just you're really on the top edge of things when you're in high cotton. I mean, we're fancy schmancy here. But anyway, IBM marketed an external hard drive for the IBM PC, and it had the footprint of today's Dell desktop.
Yeah.
It was a 10 megabyte hard drive. The price tag on that was $10,000. Well, now you could put, God, I don't know, you could put a terabyte on a thumb drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, for $79.95. I mean, I don't know. I'm just making those
Yeah.
numbers, but I mean, it's that, but it is that kind of extreme. And what's happened, and the the increase in speed of hard drives and the drastic reduction in price really helped this explosion that we're seeing, because now companies could afford to make things happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and so I mean that progress, Tommy. My thought process is, and as interesting as you lived your life, and that when you mentioned COBOL programming, I'm thinking data processing, and you mentioned, hey, we're using these tools to run our business.
Right.
And now with this technology, it's gone so fast and so flexible and so capable, I guess.
And it's still evolving.
But I mean, look what we're doing right now is we're
Right.
just talking through a computer and using YouTube to record
Right.
the broadcast. Yeah, we have zero viewers, and we have no imagination that people are going to stumble upon us and go like, "Wow, I got to dial in and listen to
Well,
these
yeah.
guys."
Well, don't give up. There might be some drunk monks in France somewhere that stumble across this, and maybe they'll send us some cheese they've made.
but I but I do have to say it, Tommy. I've explored this Hangout thing a little bit more, maybe than I don't know how much you've explored it, but I have put about a whole hour into it.
Okay.
Maybe 2 hours I put into it.
I think that's probably more accurate.
Is that more than you've put into it?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Well, in the last 2 days, how long have we talked? Oh, 35 minutes.
Maybe an hour.
Okay.
But
Well,
it,
if we talked an hour, I've put 58 minutes into it. Because at least 2 of those minutes I was sleeping. Yeah, this kind of stuff. This stuff tends to be second nature to me. Because I've been doing it all my life.
well, I stumbled on this. I don't know how some of this stuff works. Like we're supposedly a live hangout right now. Okay.
Yeah,
And I
that's a little fuzzy for me as well, because I did last night. I came in for dinner and I said, well, let me go see. He mentioned these live hangouts, and I went and looked at some of these things. Going, okay, well, what happens next? And you click on one of these things, and it's there was one. It was a dog cam. Someone they'd locked their dog in a laundry room. And you're sitting there, and you could hear the ambient noise in the house, and you can see the dog in there on his bed, and that's all that. It's like, well, that's 3 minutes of my life I'll never get back.
well, maybe that's. I think somebody like that probably is doing what we're doing. I mean, well, in a way, and so they've probably gone one step farther than we are. They're like, hey, I can use
Well,
this technology to keep an eye on my dog. They don't really care if anybody's watching their dog.
well, yeah, that's right, and well, it's I think your point's
But
valid
with the
because
system, they can use it. And
yeah, no, I think your point's valid. Oh, he left again.
wait, you back?
Yeah, but you signed out there for a minute.
Yeah, I thought I had a connectivity thing happening for a second.
Yeah, well, on this end, when that happens, I get this little noise. It's sort of like you got transported out.
Oh, okay. Well,
So you got beamed up and over and out.
maybe I was sending and you were sending, and we kind of threw the whole in and out thing.
We might have confused the central processor. You didn't know
But,
which way to look.
well, we were talking about the dog in the bathroom or pantry.
Well, yeah. Well, your point is exactly right, because the initial webcam technology, you had to have that thing tied to a server in your house that was open, so that if you're out with friends, you could log into their computer and go access your webcam. Well, now if you set it up as a live, as a live broadcast on Hangout, you can do it on your phone. So see how the dog's doing. Yeah. The only thing they need to do is activate audio so you could talk to the dog. Maybe I want to interact with your dog. You know, it's like it's if you have say you have a dog that has separation anxiety, we can sign up. We can sign up for slots. 15-minute slots. We'll dial in and talk to your dog so he feels like someone is there and he's not so lonely. I think we're onto something here.
Well, that plus, how about
We should take
some?
this up with the marketing team.
Well, there's so many. Yeah, I think it is endless, and we're just kind of pushing the envelope here. I mean, what a phrase! Is that a banned phrase? I do
What,
like that.
what, pushing the envelope,
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, that's a trade
but
or
you
whatever.
but you can't push the envelope through high cotton. I can tell
There,
you that.
all right, not through high cut. There's a show on TV that I really enjoy called The Five,
Uh huh.
Fox News. There's a real sarcastic, cynical guy named Greg Gutfeld, and he has banned phrases at the end of the show. He usually bans a phrase. I don't always agree with his banned phrases, but that's I have to copy him. So when I say
Okay.
push the envelope, that should be a banned phrase, but I'm getting that concept from Greg.
Oh well, while you were giving that explanation, of pushing the envelope, I went and looked up high cotton.
Okay.
And the term high cotton or tall cotton originates from rural farming community in the antebellum South, when high cotton meant the crops were good and the prices were too.
Okay.
The term is generalized to mean one is doing well or is successful. So I've heard this all my life. You go someplace, maybe you go on vacation, and someone suggests you go to a restaurant, and you show up there, and someone will say, "Man, we're at high cotton now." It's like, yeah, this you're in a. You just know that you're in a place that's doing well. It reeks of opulence. Yeah.
And with one thing is we all come with cultural background, good, mostly good. It's all good. And so antebellum South is something that you're familiar with. What
Yeah.
what is that? I mean, is that just Georgia, or is it spread around into other
Well,
states?
it would be antebellum is really a period of time, uh, a period prior to what the what the non-indigenous Southerners call the Civil War. We refer to as the Great Unpleasantness, or also you'll hear it referred to as the War of Northern Aggression. And you may chuckle at that, but it's seriously referred to in certain circles. We call it the War of Northern Aggression or the war between the states. There was nothing civil about it,
That's true.
because a civil war happens within a country.
Yeah,
And
that's kind
and
of wishful
and,
thinking.
and well, and legally, the Confederate States of America were a country. They seceded from they broke the bonds of the Union and said, we're going to form our own country. We've got our own president, our own vice president, our own House of Representatives. So it wasn't a civil war. It was a war between uh, two legitimate political entities. Uh, so we're very careful not to use the term civil war, because it's got misleading annotations. But
So what's
but
the preferred terminology then?
we call it the War of Northern Aggression, or
War.
to not offend our northern friends. You call it the war between the states.
Yeah, I was going to say the first terminology, the War of Northern Aggression, is a bit offensive, I imagine.
Oh, I'm sure it is, but that's a topic for another whole day of people deciding they're going to be offended, and I won't share all that material, but
Well, and I think about what is nice about this program is you and I are interesting commentary on it because I'm not from the South
mm,
area, Southern area, and you
yeah,
are,
yeah.
and that makes us experts on the subject.
That's right. For me, I actually have documented evidence that my great great grandfather was a private in the 45th Georgia Regiment.
Okay.
It fought from North Carolina to Mississippi.
Okay. Well, I know we need to do. Well, let's go ahead and diverge into that subject a little bit. So, did the Southerners actually had their own political government system set
Oh,
up?
oh, sure,
Where
absolutely.
did they meet? Richmond.
Jefferson Davis was the Jefferson Davis was the president of the Confederacy.
And the
Uh,
Confederacy met where? A government location? What was the capital or whatever?
it was in
Richmond, Virginia?
well, it started in Montgomery and then it moved to Richmond.
Started in Montgomery, Alabama.
Uh huh. Yeah. Yep. And I have some friends who really get into this stuff. They do reenactments and
Yeah, I
uh,
don't. That really turns me off as a northerner. A reenactment.
reenactments. Well, it's just this. It's interesting. It turns you off.
Well,
Well, and I don't say that I'm all excited about it because I've never actually witnessed one. But we also have here in South Carolina, we have several, but here in Greenville, we have a Confederate History Museum, and it's rich, full of artifacts from that period.
see, a reenactment, like to me, it distracts me from the thinking of what was going on. In other words, anybody can roll out a couple of militaries and have them start shooting at each other.
Yeah, but they don't just do that. They actually, they do the reenactments and work to be historically accurate in presenting what happened.
Well, no, but you can't do. To me, I've seen these reenactments on TV
Uh-huh.
or allusions to it, and it looks like a military battle. And to me, what I'm more interested in, what was the thinking behind?
Oh well, yeah. I mean, the reenactment is a battle. That's really what they had one. I want to say uh, back. Let's see, 250. I'm trying to think what the anniversary was. There was an anniversary at Gettysburg, and they had a huge reenactment of the Battle of Gettysburg.
Yeah, it'd be 150 years probably.
Yeah. Well, that'd be coming up. That'd be coming up like this year.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's 120 years or 100 years would have been 1864. I'm guessing.
All
So
right.
1964. So 120 years would have been 1984. 125 in 1989. I'm not sure exactly. I may not have the date exactly right. That's where I've got. If you go and sit, if you drop by the museum, there's a
Yeah.
library, and there's always some guys who are members of the Sons of Confederate Veterans,
Yeah.
and they know it's just a wealth of information, and they know they know the dates of all the officers, and they can tell you the battles and what happened. And yeah,
Yes.
but the capital of the Confederacy was in Montgomery until 1861, and then it was moved to Richmond until April 3rd of 65. And Jefferson Davis was the president, and Alexander Stephens was the vice president.
So what was that again? When did Montgomery start?
Montgomery, well, I don't know when I guess the secession. I guess was the Confederacy was formed in February of 61.
61.
Yeah, and the Constitution was adopted March 11th of 61, and I'm assuming I'm not sure where that happened, but in May of 61, and I guess they did all this meeting in Montgomery, but in April, in May of 61, they moved the capital to Richmond.
Oh, that quick.
Yeah, yeah,
Richmond, Virginia is like not that far from Washington, D.C., right?
Well, that's where Lee, General Lee was from Virginia.
Okay.
So,
Now, let me interject a little bit of a marketing hat on here for a moment.
all right.
So we've been chatting for, maybe 20 minutes or so.
So how long do we get to chat? I thought there was a limit on how long we get to chat on this thing.
There's a limit. It's 8 hours.
No, it's not the right answer. I thought you had like a 15-minute limit or something.
No, you have to do at least 15 minutes, otherwise it won't go up on your channel.
Oh, I see.
That's a minimum of 15
okay.
minutes, or maybe it might even be 30 minutes.
I see.
But the nice thing about the 8 hours is if you have your dog in the pantry, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's right. You can.
You want to be able to keep your eye on the dog in the pantry.
That's right. The last one out. Turn on the camera.
So we'll put on I'm going to put on the marketing hat for a second. And for those of you listening, if you actually made it this far.
Yeah, Mom. You pay attention, Mom. We're going to do something important here.
And in session number 2, we'll make sure to repeat this often. It'll be our commercial, our one and only commercial. And that is, if you're watching the program, go to the YouTube channel, and I'm sure there's an area to type comments in. You know,
Yes.
we have huge egos, huge.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I have to turn sideways to just get my head through the door.
We we have huge. So we are desperate people to comment about how
Oh,
great this program
that's
is,
right. We're
and,
starved for attention and pampering.
and how meaningful this is, and how you can't live without another session.
Well, well, as a former customer service rep at our former company used to say, he say, Thompson, we are merely the substance of dreams and fantasies. You could take that and run with it whichever way you want to go.
Well, I have to think about that for a while
It just
because,
made me laugh.
well, it is, but there's probably some deeper thought there and some truth to that too.
Well, if you knew the guy who said that, you wouldn't go that route.
Was it the Vietnam helicopter pilot?
No.
And I'm purposely hesitating to use names in
Oh
this.
yes, understood. Yeah, yeah. I'll send you. If you may have encountered this gentleman, but I'll send you that name via off air.
Which brings us to a point that I think you and I are both fully identified based on whatever's on Google.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And if
So,
not, I'm certainly willing to reveal that information in case Ed McMahon is listening and wants to drop the check off. I certainly want Ed to be able to find me.
I think,
Then we age ourselves because if there are any youngsters listening, they have no idea who Ed McMahon is or was.
well, and I'm fairly sensitive actually to this new social media, and to me, Tommy, I guess this is more and more social media. LinkedIn, I don't think is really social media. It's more.
Well, no,
What do
it's just a I look at that more as a professional networking medium.
yeah, medium. But to me, media was always like news and information.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna post vacation photos on LinkedIn. You know.
Yeah, but even so, I just don't. Is it social media? Is LinkedIn social media, or is it
I, mean,
just?
I don't know that it. I guess technically it may fit that, but it's a different slice of that because um, because again it's focused first of all more on professional connectivity than on a social level. You
Right, right.
know. And apparently there are some. I'm getting feed from the kitchen here. There are some. Uh, there are some companies, recruiters, and so forth that use that as a way to communicate. And,
Well, yeah, and they live on there apparently.
yeah, well, you and I've been through the thing. That's one of the things they tell you to include in your resume is your LinkedIn URL. So that
Right, right.
prospective employers can go because it is a way for you. If someone instead of looking at a resume, they can go quickly snapshot the first page of your profile on LinkedIn and get enough to say, yeah, maybe I need to read this guy's resume. It looks pretty good. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's certainly not it's not a Facebook social media and it never has been touted as such.
So back to our egos, right? So we got these
Oh
huge.
yes,
So,
stroke my ego, please. It's almost as good as this cup of coffee I'm drinking.
so I have no. I don't know where I'm going with this, but basically, the
Just stay off the
self-revelation.
side. Just stay off the sidewalk.
Everybody wants to judge. I don't want to judge people, you know. I
Well,
just want to love everybody, right? But
well,
I got to admit that people are going to be judging us. If anyone's listening to this thing, they're going to look at who is this clown,
well,
Tommy?
it's certainly there's ability to critique things, and you do need, particularly welcome constructive criticism. And if you send us destructive criticism, we'll make fun of you. So, So, yeah.
But so as we go forward, I don't even know if I like having the photograph there because we can probably substitute in some kind of cartoon or something.
Oh, an avatar, they call it
Yeah,
in
yeah, an
today's
avatar.
word. Yeah, an avatar. You could.
What do you think? Should we do the
Yeah,
avatars?
well, I'm thinking that we go back to our childhood and pull out some of the cartoon characters that may not be quite as commonly known amongst today's young people. Could prompt some questions like, okay, who is this character you've got here? Of course, now with Google searching, you can grab the picture and do a Google search and find it. You can search photographs on Google.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to reveal my man crush on this Greg Gutfeld guy.
Greg Gutfeld, who is that?
That's the guy. Man, well, you weren't listening, were you? I was just, or
I
maybe
did.
maybe that got blocked out.
I think I missed that discussion.
Did I talk about this program called The Five on Fox News?
No, if you did, then that's where you were talking and there was no, and I wasn't hearing it.
All right, The
Of course,
Five.
see, of course, I jumped in late. You may have done that on the front end. I don't know.
No, I think I was talking to you, but I think I did break up on that one.
Okay.
So Greg Gutfeld, The Five. The Five comes on at 5 o'clock Eastern, Fox News. I enjoy the program because, for many reasons, there are some hot chicks on there. So that always helps, right? And and they talk politics as you'd expect on Fox, right?
Right.
But Greg Gutfeld's this guy who's kind of the cynic and sarcastic dude, and he says the influence on him. He's about our age, and Greg's uh, influence was Mad Magazine
Mm.
when he was a kid. So
Alfred E. Newman.
yeah, yeah. So he loves his mom, which is great, and his mom would bring him Mad Magazine,
Oh yeah.
and he said that was a huge influence on him because he it was like his first introduction to like the adult view or crazy view and politics and everything else.
Yeah, sure.
So
Well,
I remember Mad. That was a good magazine.
I'm thinking his mother never looked at the magazine because if she had, she wouldn't have brought it to him.
Well, well, his story gets better because
Oh
he got
yeah.
older. She started bringing him National Lampoon
Oh
magazine,
wow. Oh
which
wow.
which he said had some racy stuff in there. But I guess there was this guy named P.J. O'Rourke. Well, not this guy. There was. He still is alive.
Okay.
And Greg also has a program on Fox News called Red Eye, and you may have come across that. It comes on at midnight, I think. But with these DVR technologies now, they're wonderful. So I just DVR these things. Much like all the listeners right now are going to start
All right.
DVR.
Oh, you betcha. They're not going to miss this for the world.
Actually, don't need to DVR this broadcast because it's forever on YouTube.
That's right. It's just it's just retrievable with the click of a button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to do the DVR for you. Maybe that's one of our.
I think yeah, that's right. DVR included.
Yeah. we do the DVR for you.
That's right. We take we put the R in DVR.
So the Five is an inspirational show, but a lot of things inspire me. And Greg's got a book out called, um, let's see, was it Not Cool? He doesn't like the expression.
Yep. There you went again. Tell him I said hi.
No. Oh, there we go. Two people. Are we back? I think we're back. I see Tommy. His microphone is muted. Tommy's microphone is muted, but I can hear, or I can hear myself through my ears. Tommy, did I mute you, or do I have to unmute you? I don't know. I have some kind of control panel here. Hey, hey, control room. Tommy, are you there? I think I'm connected, but I can't tell. It looks like your phone is muted. What? 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 Ah, it shows that we're connected. Do I don't want to keep. I didn't get the little blue signal that said we're disconnected. But Tommy, it looks like your phone is muted, so I don't know what that means. Maybe I try calling you and see. The using the phone now. Another great Apple product called the iPhone. Could be Samsung Korean, which we can go on a tirade on that. But anyway, we'll see. I don't know what's happening here. I see a little picture of Tommy with a muted microphone. We're hanging out and we're recording, but I don't have Tommy. I miss Tommy. I don't know what's happening there. Did something happen? Let's see. I see you with a muted microphone.
I was on mute actually.
Could you hear me though?
Well, you dropped out for a little bit,
Oh,
and then I stepped away because you weren't coming back, and then now I'm back, and so this, do you have the ability to edit this before you put it up there or not?
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if I will or not. Because I'm lazy, dude, right?
Well, I think the technology certainly supports that position. In fact, I had an engineer that I worked with, and I used to do this frequently. You'd find people with a printout keying data into a spreadsheet, and I would say, "Where did you get that information?" "Oh, it comes off the mainframe." I said, "Give me that." And I would go and set up a way to grab the report image and pull the rows and columns out of the sheet and hand it to them in a comma delimited file.
Yeah,
They could write a macro, and at the time, to show you how old this is, they were using Lotus 1-2-3,
right.
which was a precursor. I mean, that was probably the leader of spreadsheet software when it first came out. There were a couple of others too, but it was the main one prior to Excel. And they write a Lotus macro to read this floppy disk that I'd given them with this report image on it. And they said, "How do you do that?" I said, "Look, if it's already in the computer and printed, I'm not going to type it in again."
Right.
I come from a farming community. I don't like plowing the same dirt twice.
Right.
And we had an engineer. We had an engineer there. Oh, good. The alarms are here.
Sorry. I mean, those are good. The dogs are a good effect for the show.
Sorry about that. Hey,
No.
Hey, don't you see the on-air light? But this engineer, that's a good boy. The engineer used to call this applied laziness, which is
it's productivity, right?
Yeah. Well, but it is in a way. It's really probably not being lazy. It's just being it's being wise with what you got. And I'm looking at a piece of green bar paper with numbers and rows and columns of numbers on it. I was saying, that's in a computer somewhere. I'm going to go get it and hand it to you.
Yeah.
Versus you wasting 3 or 4 hours keying this 8 sheets of paper in.
Right. Right, right.
Of course, you end up removing. You and I went through the whole Six Sigma routine, and that was one of the things early on, back when it was called the TQ initiative,
Right.
was removing variation from a process.
Yeah.
If I had a machine that captured information and stored it, I don't want anyone else looking at that and rekeying it.
Right, because you might type it in
Yeah,
incorrectly.
right. You introduce variation to the process, and
Well, not only that, I think it's the time waste of 3 hours of.
well, yeah, that too, and that was the whole point. That got back to cycle time reduction and defect elimination.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And there was both of those, and back to value added steps, and that has become a cliche, and it's unfortunate because that was one of the things that I was a facilitator for those classes, and when you told people, particularly the folks that worked in the quality department, when you told them that inspection was non-value added, oh, it became very very much fun in the room. Because what they hear is that you told me that what I do isn't valuable, and
Right.
that's not what you're saying. What you're saying is that you say a value added step has to physically change the product. And
Right.
if it doesn't change the product, it doesn't add value to the product. It adds cost to the product.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't inspect quality into a manufactured component, because if you made this component and handed it to me for quality inspection, it was either good when I got it or it wasn't. The fact that I looked at it didn't make it any better. Now, the fact that I looked at it may be a requirement. It's an FAA requirement. I don't want to put a bad part in an engine and cause a failure. So
Right.
I have a required step, but the step of looking at it doesn't add value, it adds cost. And the reason you look at that is, since what I'm doing and looking at it doesn't change the product, I can focus on changing the inspection process and making it shorter, more streamlined, so I get the same result out of the inspection in half the time, thereby reducing the cost of the product. And
Okay.
it was so challenging to get that across to people, because when you told them that inspection, and there's they're inspector two, and you tell them inspection is a non-value added step, oh man, you might as well have cast doubts upon their ancestry. If because you told me I'm not valuable. So
Well,
I always enjoyed, that was one of the things I always enjoyed teaching, because I knew there were people that weren't hearing what we're trying to get across, and to me it was a challenge not to argue with them. I don't want to do that. It was to get them to get that light bulb to turn on and say, I understand what you're telling me.
okay. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I hope we didn't lose a lot of listeners there.
Well, sorry. Hey, I can run down a tangent pretty quickly if you
Well,
so if I need reining back in, just
we certainly lost all the quality inspectors twos and threes.
all right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. And maybe even the quality manager. I don't know.
Is there anyone is who's doing the quality inspection on this program?
Well, maybe that's something we post on the YouTube channel. That if you'd like to be an editor, please submit your resume to call 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 BR549, and that's right. You can
Well,
apply
this
it.
is value added broadcasting at its best, I think.
Well, I think it certainly, you could question whether it's bronze, silver, or gold, but it's at least bronze plated. You still there? I've lost him again. Oh no.
Are we back? Are we back? Are we back? Hello. Hello. Uh, okay. I don't know what this is all about. I'm gonna come back over here. Multiple pictures here. What's going on? He's got the app. He's got this. What's this? Da 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 da. Da. I don't like it. Tommy, are you there? Oh man, what happened to this? Don't want to do that. Looking around here. I'm still broadcasting. Oh. How come I have this app in here? I don't want this app. Maybe I can turn it off over here. There it is. Okay, I got rid of that. Tommy, are you back with me, man? I can't tell if you're connected or not. Dang it! Whenever I do a monologue, it gets cut off. This is so fun. I see your face, buddy. Looks like we're connected. Huh? What do we got going on here? We'll give you a call on the iPhone and see what happens. I see your face. Chat. One new chat message coming in. Where might you have gone? I'm here. I'm calling your cell phone. I don't know. I still see you. I'm two guys session one. I don't know. Do I need to invite you again? Maybe I need to invite you again. Yeah. Let me just try to invite you again and see if you get a little pop-up. Because invitation posted, blah, blah, blah. And this should, when you come back online, are you talking? No, I see you. Talk into the session. Oh, man. I mean, no, I called your cell phone, right? I'm here. Oh, okay. It says Tommy Thompson left group chat, but the group chat is something different than just the. Oh, okay, I lost your photo. Join. And I think what happens is my monologues disconnect us. It doesn't like my monologues. There you are.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to hang up the cell phone now.
Okay, sounds good.
Bye bye. So I don't think it likes my monologue, dude. So I can't talk for more than 15 seconds, or else I think it gets.
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Hello. Hello. I see myself. Can you hear me? I guess we got a chat. We can do a chat somehow.
I still don't hear anything.
I can hear you. I can hear you, buddy. And I'm sending out waves. I send out waves.
Yeah, I'm still not hearing anything.
Did you?
I see you say you can hear me, but I don't hear you. I don't think I muted you. I could probably. Now it says I muted Michael Ward. And well, how do I unmute you now? Yeah, but how do I? The problem is, it's grayed out. Let me leave this again.
There, I unmuted myself. Can you hear me? I unmuted myself. I'm seeing waves. There, you're back.
Well, technology is an amazing thing.
Are you back? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, all right. So what I was saying is when I do like a 30-second monologue, I think it screws up. I can't keep up, and I get connectivity problems.
I think you're. I think you're missing something.
What am I missing?
I don't know.
I I mean, I was doing a great monologue about AM radio, and then I cut out. Did you get any of that AM radio stuff?
No, I didn't hear any of that.
Man, AM radio. I was saying how AM radio is full of these personalities,
Oh, it's loaded with them.
and that's all they do is like they shock jockey a little bit. And with this type of session here, we should be able to just non-shock people.
Well, and of course, I don't want to get Howard Stern crass on anyone, but at least with this medium, I don't think there's any there's no FCC restrictions.
Right. No, I'm just saying that the typical AM radio, they have a captive audience of people driving in their cars, right?
Right, right. Yeah, it's very true.
But they do have to have they have ratings and all this stuff, right? I guess we have ratings too. We have a 0.
we have, we we have no stars. We just have a sliver of a moon.
But what's beautiful about it from mathematics is just think of our growth rate.
Oh, the potential is limitless, really.
We get one listener, and we've gone from 0 to 1. That's like infinite growth, right?
It is, yeah. If you go from 1 to 2, that's a 100% increase. But when you go from 0 to 1, it's infinite growth. Now you really got some head spinning. You lost Mr. You lost Miss Mason's ninth grade business math class when you said that. Yeah, yeah. Well, we need to make notes about things we want to discuss here because I've got a couple of things that I think would be on the lighter side, entertaining to challenge people's thinking. And
well, let's put our marketing hat on again, though. I mean, we're coming up, as we love to say, we're coming up on the quarter till the hour, and the marketing hat says, I think this has been enjoyable, but we've almost pushed an hour already.
Oh well.
Right? So, I mean, who's going to listen to this unless...
Well, that's what I think. See, I'm thinking we may have to end up having, 10-minute or less snippets. People aren't going to sit and listen to us for an hour. Not initially, anyway.
Right, right. I mean, in fact, probably whatever the minimum is what we should probably hit. Go for it.
Yeah, if it's 15 minutes, then you do that. But
I think it might be 30, but we'll see.
Okay. Well, you own the account, so you could check and see what those details are.
All right. Well, okay. I don't know if I should do it while I'm talking here. I guess.
No, I don't mean right this minute, but
I think I can do that if I would. The technology exists, right?
Yeah. Because one thing I want to bring up at some point, and not necessarily now, is because you get me going when you start talking about 0 to 1 being an infinite increase. It's that black hole of math thing. Speaking of which, years ago, Honeywell manufactured computers.
Okay.
And in fact, somewhere in a file, I've got a magazine printout. It's a glossy ad of a one-page in a magazine of Honeywell's electronic mail system.
All right.
This is probably from the late 1970s, early 80s. Honeywell has created this electronic mail system. But Honeywell had a mainframe computer, and on an IBM mainframe computer, if you divide by 0, the computer will come to an abrupt end, and they shorten that to abend. Oh, you got an abend on this program, an abrupt end, and it just would crap. It's like you can't divide by 0. Well, Honeywell said, well, let's instead of having the program fail, we'll just return a result of 1. so, so if you were working on creating a report for someone and you ran it and you got a bunch of ones, you could say, "Yeah, I'm dividing by zero over here." But at least it allowed the program to run to completion. Yeah. It's just I thought it was we always got a chuckle out of that Honeywell had decided to defy the laws of mathematics and determine that, hey, it's a rule that if you divide by zero, the result is one.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
but I have at some point I want to go into a discussion of the Monty Hall the Monty Hall problem. Remember?
oh, here, check. Well, the Monty Hall problem. Go ahead, quick. Go ahead.
No, yeah, you remember Monty Hall from Let's Make
Yeah.
a Deal?
Yeah.
Yeah, just write that down. I want to discuss that one day. It's very interesting because a software vendor DBA argued with me that I didn't know what I was talking about. So which wouldn't have been the first time, but
Well, yeah, there is a rule there that's counterintuitive. Yeah.
yeah, right,
We could
right.
do a whole show on counterintuitivity.
Oh yeah,
In
yeah.
fact, listening to us is counterintuitive.
Well, it's probably at a minimum counterproductive, but
Oh, no, no, wrong word, wrong word.
well, I'm just honest, painfully at times.
But I went out of my box. I took a step out of my box here,
Uh,
and I'm reading it says I have to go to a live control room after we're done, and I have to start an encoder, ENCODER. So this stuff probably means
okay,
you. Then it says
okay,
click preview to see stream from encoder in the manage tab preview player. Please
okay,
allow a minute to initiate transcoding process.
okay.
Click start streaming to start event after you are satisfied with testing. Now that doesn't sound like what I'm doing though, because I'm already streaming. This
Are
is
you are you sure?
yeah.
So if I go to YouTube and log in, I can find this video.
I thought so.
Well, while you're reading some more and talking, I can go do that. I've also got to plug my machine back into a battery source because it's beeping at me.
Oh,
So
okay.
hold on a minute. Oh well, no, it's not quite so bad. Uh, all right.
This has choose ingestion settings. That doesn't sound like a computer thing. It sounds like a biological food
It
consumption.
sounds like something in the biomedical field.
Watch the video demo. Choose source stream. Well, basic ingestion drop down menu. It's ingestion and menu. There you go. It's all about food.
So you call this channel what? Two guys?
Two guys channel. Yeah.
Is it two guys channel?
No, just two guys.
Yeah, because if I go to YouTube and look up two guys, I get two guys in one bed, two guys trailer, and two guys department store commercial, and none of which we are. But let me do a little more.
Well,
Browse channels. That might be the thing to do.
my channel. I got my own channel, see,
Oh yeah, I understand that.
1 hour ago.
Yeah, two guys and some cardboard. Two guys on beer.
It still says I'm streaming live. It says
And it
two
may,
guys are just what it implies. Two guys, two guys that work together for the same company have gone their separate ways and yet have a common interest in the gift of gab.
ah, so you wrote that up. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. But I don't find the channel on YouTube.
What if you do like Michael Ward
Yeah, let's do that.
channels or something?
Oh, the first guy that came up was a black guy.
Uh-oh. Did you go
Independent
somewhere?
independent artist Michael Ward.
Dang.
No, I'm still here. Well, there you went.
Are back.
Ah, there you are. I'm here.
You're here. You're there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
I'm still typing.
Yeah, I hear you typing.
Hear me. But I'm not seeing it jump up on the group chat. That's weird. Weird, weird, weird.
Did you see my chat?
Maybe I have to. I'm going to stop chat and come back to chat. Maybe that's what I
Okay.
do. Okay, I'm back. I don't see your chat back.
Oh, well, hold on.
What?
Yeah, there it is. I heard I'm still here.
I don't see any chat. I can't. I don't see my own chat.
Well,
Chat?
on the top left there's a blue icon that,
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I see the little box where it's supposed to be.
but nothing there, huh?
Oh, either back.
Oh, Michael Ward joined this video call.
Am I back?
Yeah, there you are.
Okay, I'm back. All right.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right. All right.
man.
See, the thing is this is all being it never says like it screwed up the recording. All right.
Yeah, I'm guessing though it probably something has happened.
Yeah, I think it probably just goes dead or I have a feeling that a lot of times you, but I'm still seeing my little green light on the recording going.
Yeah, interesting.
See, I have a ribbon at the bottom of my screen which measures my voice output,
Yeah, I don't have that.
and I have a red button next to it that says stop broadcast. And then there's to the right of that it says live. So I have a feeling even if I lose you, I think I'm still recording. Talk to me, baby.
You still there?
I'm here. Did I lose
All
you?
right. No, I'm here.
All right. So
I'm here.
I think even when I lose you, I'm still recording.
Yeah, I would think because the YouTube invocation is separate
Okay.
from the live from the Hangout. But you'll find out enough.
You could make your wife, or we'll have to make somebody listen to the whole thing.
No, I promise you, there's no one in my house that will sit down and listen to this. My wife's heard enough already, and that wasn't a recent development. That was a long time ago.
Well, you know,
This Mark,
it's you probably have some local friends that you sit around in the summertime and have a chat, and
yeah, but I like my friends, Michael.
well, you say you don't love me, man.
Yeah, hey, I want to feel the love, man.
You know,
Well, first of all, I got to find where this is on a channel because I'm not seeing it on
well,
YouTube.
maybe I have to finish encoding it, but
I
that
guess
doesn't
so.
make sense. That doesn't make sense
Yeah,
because
but
it's
you said it's live streaming, and I'm wondering is it live? I don't see a place on YouTube to look at live streams.
what if you Google Michael Ward two guys session number one and see what it says. You know, I'll type in
And it's the word two, right?
two guys session number one. That's right there. I just put it on the chat. That's what this is called. So if you Google that with maybe Hangout.
Oh, wait a minute, it came up. I see it now.
Oh, you're kidding.
No,
So
yeah,
almost,
two guys are just
what's it say? I suppose I could probably Google it too.
well, I can save you the trouble.
Oh, you can probably cut and paste it. Oh, there it is.
That's sort of applied laziness again.
Well, I wonder what happens if I click on that. Is it
I
going to
d
do another window?
it's gonna and it's gonna start playing, but it's on a delay, so you're gonna not only talk, but you're gonna now
Wow.
play. Yeah.
We don't
So
want it. Is that a
no,
5 second delay, 7 second delay?
yeah, something like that. Yeah, you don't want to do that. But it's been going an hour, 12 minutes, and 58 seconds when I paused it. So
Oh, okay. Well, so we're really pushing it here. I think we hit the minimum, and I still don't know what the minimum is.
yeah, and we don't have any likes or unlikes, so that's a good thing.
Well, we haven't had any viewers, but wait till it goes
says
viral. This is going
it
to go
says
viral.
one watching now.
That's because you're watching it. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
and I don't see a place to. Oh, there is a leave a comment. There's a leave a comment place. So
All right.
groovy.
But I mean, this is going to go viral.
Oh, I'm sure. Uh,
But yeah, on the live hangouts, a couple other thoughts were there was this guy, and he was talking to this couple. I think they were in San Diego, and they were talking about this hangout technology and the live, and how there's all this transformation, and there is some truth, and you probably agree to it, of this. We're in the knowledge economy, right?
All right.
So the knowledge economy, these kind of tools are what spread the knowledge around, right?
Right.
So this guy's concept was like, oh, we're going to be able to like reach people in Africa that don't know how to use, put water on tomatoes to grow tomatoes, and all of a sudden the tomatoes are going to grow, and they're going to be like, instead of like not having any food, all of a sudden the people in Africa are going to have lots of food, all because of Google Plus and Hangouts.
Well, I think YouTube has already done that. I've made minor house repairs and automobile repairs based on YouTube videos.
Yeah, but I mean, these guys are thinking to the 7 or 8 billion people on the planet that need some help.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that's the beauty of it. So I mean, it's really philosophical, and the people were getting really giddy. They were getting. I thought it was a live hangout, and I was trying to communicate. It's like, if it's a live hangout, why can't I talk?
Yeah,
Right?
well, that's what that was my interpretation. But maybe they could set it up that people that join can only listen.
That's
That's
probably what it is.
that's
It's
probably a
like,
possibility.
in other words, I invited you to this, so we're talking. So
All
you,
right,
you have to be invited, probably.
all right.
But I
I
thought
guess.
I kind of get the buzz. I mean, I'm an early adopter, and I can see this being real special. Not us particularly.
No, but it's hey, you never know. It's a big world out there. The potential is pretty good. There are
Yeah.
billions. There are billions of people. So
Well, and then there's monetizing it. That's the thing. I mean, there's all this content, and everybody wants to monetize it. I mean, that's the expression. Just by me saying the words monetizing it makes me sound like I feel like I'm so much more intelligent now, right?
what is going on? Someone hammering?
Yeah, I think my wife's had enough of the BS, and well, no, she's working. Like, she's making breakfast or
No,
chopping through some
it
ice.
sound like to me she's hanging pictures.
No, no, yeah, no. But can you jump on that monetizing thing for a second?
Well, well, that's an interesting idea. There's a lot of for years software was had a value and people paid for it, but there became a mindset of all this freeware, shareware, and some guy just for kicks would create some software that does something and they just freely share it. Say, hey, here's something that does this, but it was a shared, share alike kind of thing. Uh,
And that's what we're doing right now. We're taking
uh,
advantage of somebody's
well,
hardware.
and a lot of what happens there, I know there are a number of software where you can download just the free copy, and
Yeah,
it doesn't have all the features of the subscription uh, version.
yeah.
So you can use just the base elements of the software, but if you want the full enhanced version, you have to pay for it. But yeah, the thought of doing something for nothing is kind of counterintuitive in a capitalistic society.
Well, it's amazing. I mean, Google. I mean, they this YouTube. Did Google buy YouTube? Is that the deal?
Is that how it went?
I think they did. So this little system we're using is pretty amazing, and it's free to us.
Well, to me, what's amazing is what must their back end storage system look like.
Oh, okay.
Because we're into an hour and 15 minutes of this, which is really pushing. Now you're pushing my attention span.
Quality
Uh,
content.
yeah, but there could be any number of people doing this, and they're storing this on a storage device somewhere. It's got to be massive. That points back to my earlier point of how cheap storage has become.
Yeah.
You couldn't have, if storage were still $10,000 for 10 megabytes, we wouldn't be doing this. Yeah, yeah. And if you need a calculator to figure that out, then
How many
then go
gigabytes do you
get.
think this is going to be?
Oh my God, I don't know.
Well, we'll
I
find
don't
out.
know. Yeah, I don't know what its storage. I don't know what the algorithms are for compression and storage and all that sort of thing. But it's more than 10 megabytes. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've used up like $1.5 million here, Michael. So
Hey,
we better hang up and get working on finding a job so we can pay for the next session that we're going to do 5 years from now after we pay for this one.
no, we want to get paid for our session.
Well, yeah, but until that happens, are we floating a note?
No, we're gonna. That's what I'm saying. You can monitor even the YouTube already, Tommy. There's a little question there. Do you want to get monetized? Ah, dang it! You went muted.
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
Oh, um,
I didn't want to cough into the microphone.
when I put this up on the web or YouTube, I can say, do I want to monetize this? In other words,
Oh
they're
yeah, well,
they can put
what they
ads.
do, yeah, it'll pop up advertisements every so often. Yeah,
Yeah. So we may eventually want to get to that point, but
yeah, yeah, yeah. And sometimes YouTube will review what you're doing. And
yeah.
like if you're, I had a friend who's a musical group, and they would cover songs uh, from from rock bands in the 1970s, and YouTube evaluated it and said they had to monetize it. They had to do the advertising in order, I think, for order for YouTube to pay royalties for publishing re-recorded music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
And we don't have that as a concern. So, but if you monetize it, we aren't getting money for this if you monetize it, are we?
not yet, not yet.
Yeah, yeah.
But the quality of these conversations are just so high that
Oh, well, it's people probably say the heck with monetizing. Give me your address, I'll send you a money order. They're just clamoring. They're just clamoring to send you money.
well, we probably have to put some kind of PayPal thing on here, right?
Well, they may, or they might send us money to stop.
Well, either way, we can have click here to pay us to stop.
And then after 3 days of stopping, we send them a note back and say, pay us some more, or we're going to start back. You're, uh,
But I think it is all quality. Maybe,
yeah.
or is it just my imagination? I don't know.
But I think we're going to have to wrap this one up today.
Yeah, we'll call this a wrap, and I'll do some more self-discovery on the technology here.
Yeah, let me find out what that comes to. But I'll go back and listen to the front of this thing. I want to hear what you said before I showed up.
Yeah, you probably could last about 5 minutes. I think it was only 5 minutes, so
Yeah,
that's
it wasn't long. It wasn't
yeah.
long.
And then if you have a guinea pig, you can always forward the link.
Uh, well, at least if I forward it, I'll forward it and say, hey, look at this guy talking and see what you think. Tell me what you think of this guy.
Well, I think we better go to avatars, man.
Yeah,
What do you
yeah.
think?
I've got some ideas.
I'm gonna have to work on the avatar.
In
'Cause
fact, I may do that next. Let's
okay,
see.
so
Let me
we'll
do,
do avatars and go for a minimum recording. All right.
yep, that works for me.
Well, we are two guys, and we're signing off. I don't know how do we want to come up with a snappy little ending here or anything
Yeah, well, not
for our inaugural this.
not impromptu. I'm not real good at that, but thanks for listening. I think we lost him. He's lost. I'm gonna hang up now.
Wait, I heard you. Are you back? Come on back. I didn't want to end like that. We can't. Are you back? Are you back? You coming back? Come on back. Oh, come on back. Hey, Tommy, looks like you're there. Uh,
Yeah, well, I lost you again.
yeah, no. We're about to wrap it up here.
This is,
I
yeah,
gotta. We're about to wrap it up. But this is our inaugural broadcast, right?
yeah. I don't know if this is ready for prime time by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, no, but I mean, it goes down in the annals of the initial session, right?
Oh, you think?
Well, I don't know, unless we want to delete it. But, so, what do we want to have any kind of ending, official like ending?
Oh, yeah, but on the fly.
We got a viewer. Is that you?
That was probably me.
All right.
Yeah, yeah, that's me.
So, I guess the closing commentary is in progress. It's in work. It's a work in progress.
That's right. Well, we
So,
have we have a local sports talk show, and they do a they end their show. They go from like 6 to 10 in the morning, and the guy does a he's going to finish a show with, as we always do, with our 2 minute drill. That kind of thing. But it was it's a sports motif, so it works for them. So
yeah, and was it? There's all we have to come up with our own kind of thing.
yeah, yeah, give that some thought.
All right. So we're going to sign off. I'm going to push the stop broadcast button here in any moment,
All right.
and but that moment hasn't arrived yet. So I should give you a final word here, Tommy.
Oh well, it's certainly fun to plow some new dirt, and we'll see where it goes. I'm sure we've got tons more stuff to share.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I want to try out the headphones. Are you using headphones, by the way?
Yeah, I am right now. Yeah. So
And how does my remember how we when we were working, I had the USB. We were doing voice over IP.
yeah,
How
yeah.
how, how crystal clear is my voice coming into you?
Sounds fine.
And sorry to diverge a little bit. I know we're trying to end here, but I figured this thing's got an HD camera in it. I figure the microphone must be top notch, top shelf, high cotton, as we said.
Yeah, high cotton microphone. Yeah, they're not
So,
related, so
but I don't know if it's worth getting a headphone and microphone into this session if it improves the voice quality. Of course, I would want to. What do you think?
I don't. It doesn't sound like it from my end that you need it.
Okay, well, we'll tell from the broad recording how
Yeah,
the sound is.
yeah. It sounds like a plan.
All right, man, I'm going to stop it.
Yep, go to bow out, man.
All right, we'll check into you later.
Alrighty,
All right, bye.
ciao.